Hi my friends, I'm gonna show you how to make this cute little ghosty. It's Brenda and thanks for joining me. And so let's go ahead and just get started. This little guy is about 10 inches tall, and now I'm gonna show you how to do one that is a little bit bigger. So what you're gonna need is a skein of white yarn, a few pieces of black for the face, some polyfill, and your scissors. So we're gonna start with a cast on chain of 10. So you're gonna do, and you'll need some tail to close it up. So I would start about 7 or 8 inches in to do your slip knot, and then 2, 3, 4, about 1 thumb width. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if you've knit in the round before, you'll recognize this from the snowman tutorial or the pumpkin, that I always put the tail in. Some people do it to the side, and then I cinch the working yarn. And so we're gonna go through the legs of the circle. You're gonna go underneath where my finger is, and with your thumb and finger, pull a loop out. And you're gonna continue doing that all the way around. Your circle. And then you'll go through the loop where the tail is and create your last stitch. And then we'll count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we're just gonna keep knitting in the round. For about 4 more rows. This is a really simple project. I'm redoing some of my videos for my workshops, so stay tuned for a turkey, a gnome, and my Santa blanket video. Okay, just like the pumpkin, I'm gonna go ahead and fold this in half so the stitches stay closer together. You don't want any slack in between, so your polyfill won't show through. And I'll tell you how many rows this is when I get finished. I would like this little ghosty to be taller than the 10-inch I made. So just keep going back and forth. Keep these loops, again, like a thumb length. And I'll come back in just a second when I knit this up some more and let you know how many rows it was. Okay, so I did 16 rows, and make sure that you're going to stop right at your last stitch where the tail is, so you'll be even. So I'm going to do a few more here. See, this lines up with my tail. Okay, now what we're going to do is cut a tail, and I'm going to leave this one about 8 inches. And we're going to use a little bit more of this yarn at the bottom to make the ghostie's bottom. Now, I am going to close up, I know this is unusual, but I'm going to close up the head first, so I know where to put the face. So I'm going to go ahead and don't pull this tight, just go through each loop inside out. Where you just finished knitting. And this is going to be the top of the head. Again, inside out. And then the last one. Okay, then we're going to cinch it closed like this. And I'm going to tie a knot and just stick that down through the top of the head. Okay, now what we're going to do is take your little black scraps. Let's see, I'll measure these real quick so that I give you the right information. Mine are about 2 of them are 9 inches, and then the mouth is about 1 foot. You may not need that long of a strand, but that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to make a knot, and I'm kind of going to eyeball where I want these eyeballs. No pun intended. So I'll do maybe right there and right there. So what I'm going to do is poke one tail through and pull it through to the inside. And then you're going to poke the other one through and pull it to the inside. Now, you are going to, whoopsie, you're going to tie a knot. On both sides of the, well, it's a little bit harder to do with that extra white tail in there, so I'm going to cut that off. Okay, there we are. For some reason, I am not finding my other, oh, there, okay. There it is. All right. Now you're just gonna tie a knot on the inside to secure your eye. All right, now we will do the other eye. And I already tied the knot in it. So that one's gonna go about right here. And again, we're gonna tie a knot. And you just kind of feel it if you can't see it. Okay. And now we're going to work on the mouth. Oops, some fluff. Okay, so the mouth is going to be just one. I wanted to make it a little bit bigger, so kind of like a pretzel. This is shedding. You may have to use a lint roller after. And then I just kind of put that in a little lower position. So I'll put this in here and this in here. You could just do eyes if you wanted to, but I kind of liked the bigger mouth. Okay, and then again, we're gonna tie a knot. And now you'll want to get your polyfill ready. There we go. You can kind of play with the face afterwards. Now we're going to fill the ghost. I'm going to need a little bit more polyfill. I make so many of these stuffed plushies, stuffies, whatever you call them, that I buy a big box of polyfill. Okay. So now we are going to close up the bottom. And for the bottom closing, we're going to do the opposite of the top. So we're going to go outside in through each stitch. The legs of the stitches, the cast on chain. Just go through each one. And then we're going to cinch it a little. White does tend to snap sometimes, so be very careful when you're cinching. go. Couple more. Okay, we've gone around all the way, so now we're just gonna go grab a couple more stitches where you can to close the rest of that hole up. Tie a knot, and again I put it to the inside. Okay, that's kind of wonky shaped right now, but I wanted him to be, this one to be taller. So now we are going to do the last bottom part of the ghost. And you can see this one is quite a bit taller. So I wanted to have contrasting sizes. Now we're gonna take a strand of your white yarn and leave a tail so you can tie a knot and finish it at the bottom. And I'm gonna go ahead and just create a loop. Push that in there, right there. And these I make about 2 finger widths. And then I will continue. I'm doing it about 3 rows up from the bottom that we just cast off. See, there's the bottom, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And just keep creating your little wavy ghost bottom. Pulling your loops through. And then go around. You can do this a couple of times around if you wanted it to be, you know, a little more flowy. But for this tutorial, I wanted to make it quicker, so I'm just going to do 1 around. Okay. So I hope that you enjoyed my tutorials, and if you do, please subscribe to my channel. I love creating new patterns. And if you're in my area, I'd be happy, more than happy for you to join me in a class. Okay, 1 more. Just gonna do that one. Where is it? Boy, there we go. All right. Now we are gonna cut that off right here. I am gonna tie this in a knot so it's secure, and I will trim it. Pull the extra fluff off, and then we are just gonna stuff this to the inside. And there's your ghost. Love it. How cute. And there's your mini ghost. And this one I did 12 cast on. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rows. So there you can see the differences, and happy knitting.